Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone. This is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. And it's 5:30, not in the afternoon, but that's the date for the NXT review this week. And man, oh man, are they going to end the feud? Is Toxic finally toxic? Are they done? Is it done? Are we through with this? What will happen? Well, of course, they start off with the review and show you how they got to this point. And, review. And then you got JC Jane jumping Gigi before she gets in the cage. Wow, that's new. Look, I'm sorry. If you're going to have a steel cage match and ask me to review it, I have to be totally honest on this. And where I come from, steel cage matches meant $1 more on the ticket price. I'm old. All right. So it's equivalent of something else. You young people figure it out. But it cost more money. It was a bigger deal. It was something to go see. So if you're going to call it a weaponized steel cage match, whoa, this must be gonna be just out of this world. Okay. Pretty good match. Wheat back use or bat use. That would have been Mankind with a barbed wire. No, we have a black rose with a thorn. And bringing a chain into it, and Terry Funk rolled over somewhere. Even Sting kind of got mad when they brought a bat out. Okay, match. If you're tough on time, okay. GG wins it. I hate to be this way, but it just should not have put these ladies in this type of a match. I understand what they're doing in the storyline. I just think both of these ladies need a little more time. They got one heck of a push. They got a push when there was 3 of them. Then there was 2, and they did what they should, put them against each other. Just wasn't my, just wasn't so big for me. All right. Then they go into a battleground, a recap. And they throw all the matches on, the last 3 big matches. They, kind of do a little longer promo of them and or a highlight of them. And then you've got Wesley coming out, who just has the most title defenses for his belt, is having a good promo, and Dyad comes out, and they say they got a present from Joe Gacy, schism, and so they're about to jump on Wesley. Wesley gets the promoter, or gets the commentator out of the way, and out of nowhere, Tyler Bate shows up, and Tyler Bate and Wesley have a little standoff, so you know what that means, a match a little later. And then we've got, it's not TMZ, and it's not the other show, the other promotion, what their take of that, but it's somehow NXT got the actual booking photos of Tony D. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. And then you're going to have to lead into a promo with Gallus, because Gallus is going to be making fun of them, saying that, hey, we could bring them up for our next title defense, but of course Tony D's in jail, and Stacks comes out to defend his honor, and he says something I don't really I don't really like it. And it's from my childhood days. But I've seen it play different ways. And the old phrase is, snitches get stitches. And then he jumps on them, and then what I have seen happens. The snitches beat the crap out of you. So I don't like that phrase. You might not want to throw that out there just so weakly there. But, oh, yeah. We got to have a little promo, little time with the men's champ, the NXT champ, Carmelo Hayes. And it's him and Trick, it's him. Yeah. And Trick sets him up and lets him get going, He's kind of, he said he got the spear, but I'm still alive and I don't miss, and having a good promo. And then about that time, that freaking Heritage Cup champion, Noam Dar comes out with his crew, his clique, his posse. And it's Mensa, it's Lash, it's Jackson. That's right. And yeah, they come in and they pull the old-fashioned opie dope and trick him in, supposedly, into a match tonight. They use the frame. I understand you're under load management, and boy, that ticks them off. And so they've got to have it out from there, of course. So no load management for Melo, him. And then you go from there. You've got Cora Jade in the locker room bragging and talking with her big old black eye. And she's saying that she should be champ. She should have been champ, and she will be champ because that's just the way it is. Well, Avi Nile disagrees, and they have a little standoff, and there again, you know what that means. We got a match later on. So after that, they've got a little odd promo with Axiom. Of course, he sits around all the time with his mask on. And he's reviewing his tape from his last match. And out of nowhere, Reggie. Y'all remember Reggie? Oh, Reggie shows up, and Axiom, calls him Reggie, and Reggie tells him, yes, that's my name, but all my family and my friends call me Scripps. So Axiom called him Scripps, and Scripps says, when you took the mask off, you liberated me. You set me free. You made me happy. And I don't know where to go from there. But yes, he said you set me free. So thank you. Axiom says, thank you, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. But there we go. They go from there to Dyad, which is representing Schism. And they got to have Tyler Bate and Wes Lee coming out, and they're going to have a match. Now, during this match, the match is good. This is a go back and watch match. When you have Tyler Bate, you have Wes Lee, and there could have been a turn. We could have seen a turn. They could have had, a turn. Tyler Bate turns on Wes Lee, could have had a turn, but they didn't. It was Dyad and Bate and Lee having a great match. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mustafa Ali, Mr. Ali, shows up, comes through the crowd, looking like a Greek goddess, and comes down through the crowd, comes down to the table and sits down with Booker T, which Booker T proceeds to say, man, that's a nice looking beard you got there, brother. What kind of product are you using? Yeah, that's talk between men nowadays. But anyway, so he's watching the match, and there again, good match. Fowler's just tearing it up, man. And Fowler does so good for a big guy. That's the reason he's going to be good wherever. They can tag team him with anybody. They can put him in singles. They can, and Jaggers, of course, too. But, they're going to be okay. But during this match, Wes Lee's going to have to hit that double cardiac kick. And then we got a Tyler driver by Mr. Tyler Bate for the win. Okay, we're going pretty good match, man. A must see. Go back if you're going to watch some of this. Man, this is the first match of the night, I would say. Man, good. Boom, bam, get it, watch it. But then all craziness breaks loose. Let me turn the page here, because then we have Ivy now and Ava coming out fighting. And then, of course, the Creed brothers come out, and Dyad's already there. And then there's all crap breaking loose down on the floor. And then, of course, Mr. Bate and Mr. Lee are going to kind of watch what's going on, And then from the crowd, Joe Gacy shows up and hits them from behind, starts beating the crap out of them. And then, of course, you have Mr. Ali is at the table, so he's got to get up in there and get his groove on, and he does, and they do, and bam, bam, you got Gacy on the ground. Everybody else is gone, and we can see a new angle. And I like Ali in NXT. I like it. I think he can help a lot of people. I think he can get more exposure. I mean, win-win in my book. My book's not too thick though. Anyway, they go back in there with this Drew Gulak and Mr. Dempsey and Miss Thea, and Dukes gives her a chance to get in there and show with the big guys, and they start off with Charlie Dempsey and Thea locking up. And they go to a commercial break. So I thought they would come back with something else on that, but I guess that's next week. So then we've got to have the new NXT Women's Champ, Tiffany Stratton, with her TIFF time celebration. Hey, and she gets on there and she does her talking, but, I looked. Of course, I'm not, I'm watching from TV, of course, and I don't know what they've got live, but man, oh man, did it look like she was reading off a cue card. I could be wrong. Just looked like it to me. I don't know. Just looked like it to me. Anyway, she calls the ladies' locker room out, and it takes them a while. And then, she tells them, baits them out there that she's going to let them know the first person for a title defense. And she pulls a move that's used by a lot of different people that we're going to have a battle royal. And that, their theory is a couple weeks to do that, more time as the champ. And everybody beats the crap out of each other, and you come in fresh. So, that's the theory behind it. Of course, she goes on and talks about how everybody sucks and how she can beat them all up. And then she drops confetti and announces it is TIFF time. And which in tune, everyone jumps in there and beats the crap out of her, throws her out of there. And she says she hates everyone for ruining her moment. But yeah. And then they got a little promo they do with Trick. And look, on this little quick promo, it's like a 2 or 3 minute promo. Trick shows more in his mic time than I've seen out of him the whole time. Because you got Lash and Jackson and Mensah coming up, and they're trying to start something, and they're going, and Trick just plays it off and says he'll be watching, but the mannerisms, his tone, his everything he did was, hey, spot on. Spot on. So I give credit where credit's due. That was a good one. And they got, what is that? If I say this right, Danny Palmer, Ruka, her friend. And she's in the ring and says she will not go anywhere until she finds out who the hoodie woman is. And the hoodie woman said that she would come out. So she calls her out. And, of course, they put her on the screen, and it's a typical move to where they're looking at the screen. Of course, it always takes them a little too long to get to the ring without the crowd hollering, and throwing it off. So she comes from behind, jumps on her, and who is it? Who is it? Who is it, you say? Well, it's Blair Davenport, looking a lot like somebody over in AEW, too. But anyway, she comes out, lays the smacketh downeth. And so we have a match coming up, I'm pretty sure, with Miss Palmer and Miss Davenport. They do a little spot with Eddie Thorpe, which I love me some Eddie Thorpe. And they got Blade and Anafi out there, and they're kind of telling them, hey, it's okay, you lost, you're young, you're gonna be fine. But Damon Kemp comes out, and Damon Kemp pretty much says that you're a something that I thump off of my shoulder, whatever. And so that is setting up a match on down the road in itself. But you've got Joe Coffey getting ready to come out and have a match with Stax Lorenzo. Because Wolfgang and the other Coffey brother, they're thrown out. They got thrown out for jumping on the gentleman earlier. So they're out of the building. Seriously, they got... we went, let me make sure. Yeah, they literally, when they jumped on Stax, they got thrown out. The ref called them. So you've got Coffey by himself against Stax. It's a good chance for Stax to show what he's made of. Because you got Tony D locked up, So, and Stax comes out fast, and this is a good match. This is a definite, another good match tonight to go back and watch, man. They take a simple hip lock and make it look good. Stax comes out fast, jumping on him, and he uses a headlock, an old-fashioned headlock for like 3 minutes of the match, and he used it good. And they're both going back and forth. But you got Kofi at one time you gonna rob me? And doing really good. As I said, the match is back and forth. Good match, but it comes down to a chance where Mr. Coffey has a chance to push Lorenzen into the turnbuckle, gets a good move on him, and they have a funny backdrop where I'm sure it was just a little slow and it just looked bad on TV. But when he was going over, when Stax was going over Mr. Coffey's shoulder, the speed of it, you could say, oh man, this might. And it didn't. The shoulders got turned, so he took it on the shoulders, but it was close to a head drop. But at one point in time, though, a little bit later, Stax misses. Coffey's up against the ropes. He's going to clothesline him over the ropes. And somehow there's a mix-up there, I guess because of the sweat or whatever like that. But there's a mix-up, and he goes out and Coffey stays in. Coffey covers very well in this, and they go out to the outside. He throws him into the stairs, ends up getting a win. It was a good match, and it reminded me of an Arn Anderson, Barry Windham match years ago. Barry was so much bigger and younger, but he just was raw, just wasn't quite there, but he was good. He had flashes of brilliance, and Arn worked with him the best he could, and that's the kind of match I saw tonight. So, hey, we'll see. Right after that, they go into Von Wagner and Mr. Stone, and he's trying to explain to them, or to Von, about the fact that, if you get disqualified, you could lose your free agency. There's things to do to think about there. So he asked him, about some anger management therapy. And, Von says he'll think about it, but, the fact that they're bringing it up, they're working it the way they are, so far, so good on that. So far, so good. And then, of course, they've got Dragunov, doing a little promo, kind of like showing insights into him getting ready and calling his son before and getting ready for Battleground and what he went through. And they showed a few clips of the match, and he's like, now the world knows, pain. So good little promo. Dragunov does good. And then you've got a Cora Jade Ivy Nile match. And this starts off, Ivy Nile is just built, just solid like a bulldog. And Cora Jade is great. Her entrance is fantastic. She's, getting really, really good in the ring. And she starts out really good. They go to do like a regular tie-up, and she starts hollering, "Oh, my eye," from her black eye from, before Battleground. And she does a good heel move. She's like, causes a distraction, takes advantage of it, and goes through. So, and Ivy shows her power in this match, and her ring skills are getting so much better. So really coming on. But I gotta say, I've held my tongue a little bit, but I gotta say, it was never more evident in this match, and I've seen the guys do it too. It's not, but when you tie someone up in the ropes to get the advantage and take advantage, to take a second to in this case lick your hand and do the chop, you gotta use the second rope to tie their arms up. What has happened to these wrestlers today? They just put one arm over the top rope, and then they go, "Whoa," and they put the other arm and say, "Stay there." Really? Come on now. I mean, they used to stretch the ropes. I don't know if they're using different ropes. Go back or whatever. Just all right. That's my little spiel for the day. All right. But yeah, they do this. It's a good match. I like the fact that Cora Jade gets up. So many of the wrestlers now, they do like an inside cradle, and they're just really slow at getting back to their feet, unless they're coming in with a series of offensive moves. And, man, she was back on her feet quick, like she's ready to go, whichever angle the lady wanted to go, her opponent wanted to go. So she looked good. But in this match, it's one of those deals where they're kind of pushing both. So how do they get out of this match? Well, they bring Ava out. And there's another one of my kind of pet peeves. All right, if you're going to bring somebody in that gets hands on a person, that's called a DQ. And then the person that you got DQ'd can be mad, and it brings in another angle. All kinds of angles you can do off that. Okay, but anyway, no, bad writing on this one towards the end. It's just, it is what it is. All right, so you got Hank and Tank, the Hank and Tank connection, talking, and they're talking about how they can read each other's minds. What's your favorite food? Chicken parm. What's your favorite animal? Honey badger, or whatever. I don't know. But then Nofi and Blade come out, and of course they don't have the connection. And Blade kind of says, we ain't fighting. So they're not going to that. And then after that, you've got the Creeds and Dyad by an overhead door hollering at each other like they're somebody owes somebody some money. So, of course, that is going to be an upcoming match. But then you've got your main event. You've got Noam Dar versus Mello. And then, of course, Noam's got his clique, his gang, his crew. And it's, they're all there to support the Supernova 11. Yeah, okay. And, of course, Trick's there. And Mello, even when he was getting up, going, holding his belt up for the match, he's setting it up, rubbing them ribs from that spear. But man, okay, I don't give out high compliments like this very much, but I watched this match twice, and I was trying to think, in this match, Mello seemed to be, his moves were quicker, crisper. His transitions, his counters, even back to his feet off the mat, just fast, like lightning. And it looked different to me. And I don't say this very often, but he looked, he looked a little Ricky Steamboatish. Yep, I said it. He looked clean. He looked crisp. He just looked comfortable. He looked like at any point in time, he just elegant. Ricky Steamboat was, of course, Flair's best match, or one of his best match or best series of matches with an individual. And he had some other, of course, great matches. But don't think of Ricky Steamboat in the WWE. No, go on back a little bit further. And NWA, Ricky Steamboat, when he broke onto the scene, he was amazing. His moves were crisp. He brought in a new style. He was young, good looking, polite, just everything. And man, Mello, I kept thinking, they're trying to mold him around HBK, but man, tonight, he looked like Ricky Steamboat. That's just my opinion. But, hey, man, great match, back and forth. I mean, man, some big elbows by Noam. I mean, man, he had a great elbow towards the end of the match. And here's the deal. They get Trick thrown out. They tricked Trick. They tricked him. They tricked him. He hits Menza in front of the ref. Gets thrown out, and so now it's a big advantage for Mr. Dar, because he's got his clique, his crew, his posse, and it doesn't help the Supernova in the end, because right towards the end, old Nathan Frazier and Dragon Lee come out and cause a distraction. There's a big jump off the top rope. And next thing you know, Mello gets him in the ring, a few good moves, and bam, Mello wins the match because he don't miss. So, hey, no Braun out in this one. Are we going to see him popping up on a show? Maybe on national TV? Maybe, I don't know. We could see that. But look, not a bad show at all, guys. Not a bad show at all. If I would say this was a C+, B- show, C+. Let's go C+. And except for the bad writing with I know they're not pushing Ava, but they keep bringing her out. So I don't know. We will see. We will see, folks. But anyway, guys, I don't know anything else to tell you. The pretty good show. Go back and check it out, man. Look, I'm just gonna go. Look, it's a high note. I'm gonna get on out of here. So, guys, this is Memphis Mark, and as always, if you can rescue. Go get you a kitty. Go get you a doggy. Rescue if you can, but as always, spay and neuter. And of course, this is Memphis Mark, and you know what? I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.